I ain't gonna leave him out. You know, I'm just real like this, you know, because, you know, be throwing rocks and hiding their hand, right? They be throwing rocks and hiding their hand. And I don't like them kind of individuals.
You are so, like, lacking self-awareness. Like, you give such a lackluster performance, and then you think you can make threats to people because you gave a lackluster performance? Pause. You don't have the right to tell me what I should like.
Any message for Cam and Mace? Y'all been going back and forth a lot over the last week. They ain't got my respect. There you go.
There it is. Jay Prince still ain't over Mase and Camron disrespecting Shakur Stevenson, and now it looks like he tried to get them pressed for real. Remember when Cam and Mace clowned Jay last year after he said he'd fade all Shakur's shots and take on any bets? That's when Cam and Mace lit him up on their podcast, calling him out for still acting like a street boss even in his grown age. Jay Prince didn't clap back at the time, so most folks thought the beef cooled off, but nah. That silence was just the calm before the storm. Fast forward a year later, and Cam allegedly got hemmed up backstage at a private event in Atlanta. Word is, some dudes ran up and told him straight up to keep Shakur's name out his mouth.
We don't send to do nothing for us. We don't pay to handle our problems. You gotta put in your own work. You failed. You failed.
And it wasn't just that. Shakur himself jumped in too. He fired shots at both Mace and Cam, saying Mace had a failed career, and even threatened to knock out Cam if it ever came to hands. Wild, right? Things are definitely heating up again. So here's how it really went down. Cam was in Atlanta 2 weekends back, lined up to guest commentate at a Boxing X hip-hop exhibition. It was supposed to be a clean live segment for a new sports pilot. But according to insiders, Cam never made it to the mic. Eyewitnesses say a group of guys who weren't even part of the event pulled up backstage. And now folks are saying they were there on Jay Prince's orders. Whatever was said backstage must have hit hard, cause Cam dipped out the building just minutes later. And here's where it gets even messier. This happened not long after Jay Prince Jr. clapped back at Cam and Mace for going in on his pops. Now fans are asking, were those dudes who pressed Cam actually Junior's crew pulling up for revenge?
You beef me up, right? Because try to glorify bull. Like you try to glorify soft. Try to glorify that ain't that. It's flaw. We know when it's flaw when we deal with them in the streets. We know when it's flaw. Like we understand that they flaw. We don't capitalize off their flawness though, because we'll capitalize off real. We ain't gonna capitalize off no being flawed, weak as hell. We understand what a weak as hell. Then he a street, call himself a street. He could be a street, but he's still weak as hell. We don't capitalize and try to glorify this shit. Nah, we gonna sit there and have conversations about as strong as us. We don't have conversations about as weak as hell.
Let's rewind real quick to how all this even popped off. It started back in July 2024, when Cam and Mace turned the heat all the way up on Shakur Stevenson. Shakur had just defended his WBC lightweight title against Artem Harutyunyan in Newark, but the fight was dry, super defensive, low action, and even had folks in the crowd booing.
Four here, another body shot, good combination from Steven.
Harutyunyan still strong. But you either got to create your offense off your jab, Tess.
All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And still, WBC lightweight champion of the world, Shakur Stevenson.
Fans were calling it boring, but Cam and Mace didn't just stop there. They straight clowned him. They posted a video of themselves falling asleep while watching the fight, trolling Shakur hard.
So when you get in the ring, you're not entertaining. We don't want to keep hearing about the sweet science. We're looking for entertainment. We're paying bucks for entertainment. And you're not entertaining. But listen, if the fight was smoking, nobody had to walk out. You should not be the main event fighting like the undercard. Your fight was like the undercard. All the smoke was before you. So they need to rearrange how you're going. You're like a headliner that really need to be the opening act.
Then they took it to the podcast and said what a lot of folks were whispering, that Shakur just isn't entertaining enough to be a real headliner. Cam joked that folks were walking out mid-fight to grab coffee just to stay awake. But Shakur didn't stay quiet. He snapped back.
You boring. You boring. Everybody's seen it. We ain't the only ones who seen it. You boring. I thought I was rather polite about it. I thought it was cool. Next Tiafimo, you seen the fight? He said, hell no, why the I watched that? It went 12, right? Yeah, I knew it went 12. Tim Bradley, he's announcing the fight. He says, I got my coffee ready. Round 3, he's like, about time to start drinking the coffee before I fall asleep. He ain't say the fall asleep part.
First, he reposted a clip of Mace saying he didn't even want to see Shakur fight anymore and added a savage caption. Same way I felt about his rap career. More famous for his podcast than his failed career path. The GOAT, who the F is Mase and Camron. Then Shakur mocked Mace for leaving Bad Boy to become a pastor, calling him a fake preacher, and even threw in a shot about Mace surviving Diddy. But Shakur wasn't done, not even close. He straight up warned Mace and Cam like it was war season. He posted, "Tell them watch how they talk on that podcast. Ian ducking no smoke. Lil Omi ready to go to war with all these soft dudes. That's not just clapback energy, that's full-blown smoke on sight." Shakur kept firing too. What really ticked him off? He said it's the fact that Cam and Maze talk heavy about boxing when neither of them ever laced up gloves. Shakur wrote, "You know what irks me? When a dude talk boxing but ain't never gloved up. This fat mother, Maze and Big Teeth and Camron need to shut the F up. They never stepped in no ring." Then he dared them both to glove up or keep it quiet, saying entertainers are jumping in the ring. So what's their excuse? And get this, Shakur got backed up by none other than Terrence Crawford. Yup, Crawford jumped in and tagged Shakur, writing, "F him, little bro, let him know how you feel. They letting you know how they feel." That gave Shakur even more fuel, but Cam wasn't letting that slide. He defended Mace over that failed career diss and fired back on Instagram. Failed rap career? Shakur Stevenson, 3 months after you were born, Murda dropped his first album and sold 5 million, quadruple platinum, and that was before social media. Facts. Then he doubled down, saying, "They're just saying what everybody else is thinking." And if that wasn't petty enough, Cam and Maze dropped a video showing fans leaving Shakur's fight early. Again, the caption said, "A lil hometown love, Newark, that is, Harlem would never." But just when folks thought it couldn't get any messier, Jay Prince stepped in and made it even more chaotic. Jay Prince wasn't about to let Cam and Mace drag Shakur without clapping back. He jumped on IG and threw straight shots. After Cam and Mace called Shakur's world title defense a snooze fest, Jay Prince let the world know he's riding hard for his fighter. He wrote, "Numbers don't lie, haters do. Let them say he's boring and nobody wants to watch him. Hate to break it to y'all, but it's only a small circle of you clowns." Then he hit them with receipts, claiming Shakur had the #1 ratings of any ESPN fight this year and top 3 since 2022. But Jay didn't stop there. He dropped a bold warning too.
You gonna take all his fades and take all his shots and you handle everything out the ring? All right. So then we talking to you then, all right? We starting with you. Since you the big homie, we starting with you. That's how it goes around here. I want to just start off by saying you are so, like, lacking self-awareness. Like, when you give such a lackluster performance and then you think you can make threats to people because you gave a lackluster performance, pause. You don't have the right to tell me what I should like or to tell Cam what he should like. That's not your place. Like, art is subjective, right? So if art is subjective and I don't like something, you can't really get mad at us because we don't like something. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little, like the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little, like, for real. All that big homie stuff, that's for little have big homies. We're not little. So we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't. And for me, I never respected in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got. Tell me, Mace, chill. No, chill for what? Who is this? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like, I want to respect you, but I can't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if I got a little, like the dudes that raised me, if I was out of pocket, they would tell me I'm out of pocket. They wouldn't let me put them on a crash out mission. They would say, yo, Mace, listen. Around here, we don't send to do nothing for us. We don't pay to handle our problems. You got to put in your own work around here, Lord, man. That's what you were supposed to tell them. You can't go out here and talk crazy and then send me on a mission. Nah, this is where the game got messed up when young started sending old out. And just because this little ignorant got a few dollars, he make all of you that's supposed to be real run after his mission. This is a problem, Jay Prince. And I'm going to tell you like this. If you're 60 years old and you're trying to be a street, you failed. You failed. I'm telling you this. And I stand, my name is Mace. I stand by this message.
If anyone want to take it outside the ring, I'm his manager. I handle all his business. I'll fade all Shakur's shots and take all bets. Yup, that message was loud and clear, aimed directly at Cam and Mace.
Mace said it exactly. You 60, you 60. What are you talking about? What are you, bro? I lost mad respect for you because I used to have mad respect for you. When you had Shakur with you, when you lined Young Boy NBA up, why the you got Shakur with you? And this is why he acting like that. This is exactly why he acting like that. Talking about you got Young Boy NBA umbrellas and his keys to his car. Young Boy NBA told y'all this is what he said. This is not 1982, bro. You cannot sit here and tell get the strap and then be quiet. Nobody know that part because I just be going viral. You bugging, James, you bugging, man. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know what bet you talking about, all that other slang then. Bet it, whatever bet you talking about, bet it. I don't know what's bet it.
But you already know Cam and Mace weren't backing down. Just a week later, they fired back on their podcast, and this time, they went at Jay Prince personally.
Any message for Cam and Mace? Y'all been going back and forth a lot over the last week.
They ain't got my respect.
Mace straight up roasted Jay for still playing the street role at 60 years old. Meanwhile, Cam aired it out, saying he lost respect for Jay way before the whole Shakur drama even started.
Did you hear what Mace said though?
Who?
Mace.
Mace, what'd he say?
Mace, he had this to say. He said, I don't want to see Shakur fight. I'm going to be honest, no disrespect to Newark, but I don't want to see Shakur fight nobody. For him,
Like I said with the other people, like I can't really take some of these guys too serious because it's like, they make a living off of trolling people. Like, trolling is what they do on a regular basis. So, even before when I kind of reacted to them, I don't feel the same way now. Now it's like, okay, I understand the business aspect of it. So,
And Shakur, he kept talking wild too. He said Cam and Mace were just old and washed, and when he hit the Breakfast Club, he brushed them off like nothing. Said he couldn't take them seriously because their whole brand is just trolling for attention. Now the internet split, some fans riding with Jay Prince, saying he's the reason Shakur even got on in the first place, giving him that early push. Some folks even putting Shakur in the same breath as Floyd Mayweather. Even Joe Rogan jumped in and said, if anyone's the next Floyd, it's Shakur. This beef's turning into a full-blown saga. Now here's where things take a crazy turn.
See the Shakur Stevenson fight?
I didn't.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Good?
He's good. He's on another level right now, man. He's on another level. I mean, he is so smooth. And his movement, his ability to like, punches were coming at him and he just lets them get right there.
Oh yeah, like
just right to there. They touch him and then fires back. His accuracy, his technique, his efficiency.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
Beautiful. We were watching it in between shows when I was in Colorado this weekend doing comedy, and we were watching in between shows, and I was like, God damn, he's good. He's so smooth. They're so efficient and technical. Like everything was on point.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it for sure.
It was awesome.
Dude, what do you think?
They're fire. And it was just the smoothness. And a lot of people were saying it's like Floyd Mayweather-esque. And you could say that. It was so, but it was, it's Stevenson-esque. It's just Stevenson coming into his prime and letting everybody know, because it's such a high profile venue. I mean, he's at the MGM and he's fighting on ESPN.
Right after the whole backstage run-in with Cam, word started spreading that Mace got into a heated convo with one of Jay Prince's associates just days before the Atlanta event. Sources close to Mace say the energy was off from the jump. Dude pulled up talking tough, saying Mace better watch his words or else it's gonna get handled in the streets. That wasn't no friendly warning. That was a real threat. And guess what? Mace didn't fold. Instead, he got on the next episode of It Is What It Is and made it very clear. He's not scared of anybody playing mob boss in 2025. He said, "I've been through worse. This ain't the 90s. Ain't nobody checking in with no fake tough guys."
Now, I don't think we need to explain nothing. I don't like explaining myself. Whatever. It is what it is.
Only Eddie Hearn. This is the most traction guy. But emotional.
Yeah.
We pay-per-view. Secondly, real quick before
that might be a great idea.
No, it's a fantastic
Not just
idea.
promote it. We should be sitting there commentating when he fights.
Yes. Now they're gonna be mad at that. But we can promote it. We could be a promoter.
Yeah.
Listen, you never got this much traction. We could, that series, I know it's gonna be like, oh, think about it. You in Billboard, you ever been in Billboard? You in Billboard. You on TMZ.
You made it.
You made it. You made it. You made it. You're welcome.
You made it.
You never been on TMZ outside of boxing. You never been in this is Billboard. We Billboard. We brought you along. We should I know you're gonna be like, oh, troll. Nah, I'm serious.
The room got quiet after that. Cam was laughing, but you could tell he was ready too. He even joked, "Let me know who I need to call to place that bet since Jay Prince talking money." But then it got even deeper. A leaked DM allegedly showed one of Shakur's close friends bragging about how they sent a little message to Cam and Mace to remind them who runs boxing media now. Fans online started going wild, saying this ain't even about sports anymore. It's about ego, power, and pride. And while Cam and Mace are keeping it playful in public, insiders say they've beefed up security big time behind the scenes. One source close to Cam even said they're not taking no chances. They know this could get real quick. So now the question is, will this finally boil over into something worse? Or are we just watching two eras clash? Old school hip hop legends versus the new school boxing elite with a street edge. One thing's for sure, this ain't over. And just when it felt like things couldn't get any more messy, now folks are bringing up Takeoff's name again, tying it all back to that tragic night in Houston. Fans are drawing lines between Jay Prince Jr.'s reputation and how he handles beef, especially after what happened with Takeoff outside 810 Billiards. That whole scene was supposed to be family vibes, but it ended in gunfire, chaos, and unanswered questions. People online started making wild connections, saying if Cam really got pressed in Atlanta, it's just more proof that these dudes play dirty behind closed doors. Some are even wondering if this whole boxing media beef is just a cover for deeper tension between Prince's circle and anyone who disrespects the brand. A few even think this is the same blueprint we saw with Takeoff. Minor disrespect turned into real-life retaliation. Cam and Mace haven't addressed that theory directly, but they did make a slick reference on their latest episode. Mace said, "Some folks don't understand. We don't play chess with dudes who flip the board when they're losing." Cam followed it up with a smirk and added, "If they try to set a trap, they better hope we don't own the blueprint." That felt like a warning, or maybe a message to someone specific. Meanwhile, fans are split in the comments, half saying Mace and Cam are poking the bear too hard, the other half claiming they're the only ones with the guts to call out the games being played behind the scenes. And behind it all, Shakur's still training, still fighting, still talking, brushing it all off like he's untouchable. But insiders are saying even he knows this smoke could hurt his image if it goes too far. So what now? Is this just podcast trolling taken too far? Or is there a real street undercurrent that's bubbling up again? Cause at this point, this ain't just jokes anymore. This is starting to feel dangerous. Now here's the twist. While Jay Prince got his loyal supporters, a lot of folks are saying he might actually ruin Shakur's whole career by being too controlling. The whispers are growing louder, fans accusing Jay of shady business behind the scenes and saying his whole street-heavy approach could backfire on Shakur big time. They're saying it's one thing to be loyal, but another to let someone smother your entire image. And when it comes to Mace and Cam, the internet's split straight down the middle. Some folks are calling them gossip kings who stir the pot just to stay trending. One Reddit user didn't hold back, posting, "Being an adult is realizing Cam and Mace criticizing Shakur is straight up hater energy. They almost 50, just as cringe as Jay Prince." That post blew up. But don't get it twisted. Mace and Cam still got a loyal fan base who ride hard for them. Their supporters say they're the only ones with the guts to speak on Jay Prince without flinching. One fan wrote, "Jay Prince is dangerous, but I respect Mace and Cam for not backing down. They saying what most are scared to." And another said, "I'm from Houston, and I've always hated how people act shook like he's the boogeyman. Salute to them for keeping it real." Let's be honest, no matter where you stand in all this, one thing's undeniable. People love hearing from Cam and Mace. Whether it's drama, jokes, or shade, they keep it entertaining every time. So if you've been following this saga, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share this video. We got more heat dropping real soon.